Inside Story Uganda. Real source of political updates.
Yetaga kumukuba mbifaananyi.
Yazaala
n'amala.
Ye yazaala.
Mujigumiza gwanga.
Yazaala mujigumiza gwanga.
Kibuga enduulu ne zivuga.
Buli bwe bakulabyeko enduulu neevuga. Omukoko naafa.
Soko kuleka.
Time to do their work, but if you interfere, you're going to be a spoiler. That is what he says.
No, but really, if that is his attitude, what exactly would you expect me to do?
No, the simplest thing is this. Do not, pull out all your stands at the beginning. I would suggest that you first of all give it time. Let it mature. Let everybody realize that you have some ethics to protect. You have some integrity to protect. You have that powerful image that you need to portray and project it to the minds of the people, because that is the most important thing. So I've heard a lot about you. I've had a lot of resistance, and I've personally experienced so much. But the most important thing is how you're going to react towards all that encirclement of troubles. Because you cannot be the only person who understands everything best. You should always have it in mind that there are some people who are very well strengthened to tackle all the situations. The biggest problems, like for us Africa, we don't want to consult. We always depend on our ego. If we feel very important before everyone, therefore we enforce and posture ourselves in a manner that we can do it all without help or assistance from other people. And it is what is causing a lot of trouble in this era. It is why the government is staggering in a zigzag form, simply because some people don't want to actualize the reality of situations. And this is what I've been telling you for all the times. You should always find the means of thinking better. You should always think about managing things better. And above all, you should learn to respect each and every person to make sure that you don't interfere, you don't interject, and you don't intrude yourself in other people's affairs. That is one of the most important things that we need to think about at all times. So the moment we have that, I'm telling you, my brother not going to find, this hig-hag here and there. You're not going to find yourself, encircled in troubles, the way things are appearing. So we are telling me our own story, and I couldn't grasp it all. What exactly was it?
Now, my brother, I understand the dynamics of the situation that we really have today. Sometimes it is shameful to explain everything in the greatest detail. So sometimes we find the solace in reserving so much. And for that reason, there are things I wouldn't like to share with everyone. But now, if Muzei is behaving in a way that I am an outcast, but simply doesn't want me to act like a typical outcast. If Muzei is doing several other things, but doesn't want me to utilize my own opportunities, because there is what we call self-indulgence. There is what we call self-actualization. There is what we call self-optimization. If Muzei doesn't want me to go into that line, what exactly does he want me to do? That is the question I'm asking myself always.
No, what I think is it is not a trouble. And it's not troubling you in any way. He's only trying to create a scenario where you simply need to understand the situation, and it's simply that. He's not looking at, terminating anything that you're building up. He's not looking at disorganizing you in any manner. He's not looking at, disorganizing you in any way. Everything seems to be okay. And Actually, what I'm looking at is he's trying to reorganize you. You need to think about your mental faculties and make sure they work very well. Otherwise, you're going to land in great shit. You have no idea the risks involved in a situation like this, where there is need for alteration, where there is need to change, where there is need to try and reorganize situations. It is what I'm talking about. These are the things we need to organize ourselves about. These are the things you need to think about and make proper decisions that do not interfere, that do not interject with anyone. So the moment we have that at hand, there is a higher chance that things can become okay. So this is what I'm trying to talk about. This is what I really want you to organize yourself about. I don't know if you really understand me.
Well, it is okay. I really understand the situation that you're trying to explain and the picture I'm trying to paint in my mind. Of course, my mental faculty is very okay. The only challenge I'm getting is how people tend to think that I'm a stubborn fellow. How people think that I don't calculate the moves I'm trying to make. I give, for example, a scenario. Remember how I was encircled? I ended up in a position where actually nobody was willing to do anything very reasonable. It is a funny situation that some people never imagined that. I also count, my ideologies have been advising on so many actions that have been taking place in this country. But now if I'm ignored, I'm encircled, I almost get arrested. Until somebody equally powerful says, no, that is my son. Why would you do such a thing? He has our grandchildren. Why should you do such a thing? So beyond that, I get very annoying warnings and cautions and even precautions that I should never misbehave. I should never attack anybody who's working on the rise of a new project of succession that is ongoing. I told him, by the way, that is public information. I don't need to interject. But at the same time, let us look at the legal foundation of our constitution in the country. Why should somebody who is actually a serving officer of the Uganda People's Defense Force talk politics in the name of a birthday? Why should such a thing ever happen and nobody cares? Don't we have serious Ugandans who can say, let us petition this? Really, these are the things we're looking at. These are the things we need to work upon. Why should we simply be onlookers? Why should we be passengers on the bus when we personally can also steer the bus forward? So these are the things we're looking at. These are the challenges I'm trying to talk about. These are the things we need to organize ourselves about and to make sure we have a proper way forward. It is not that I'm very mischievous. No, I'm not. It is only that we need to have an organized cycle, an organized system robust enough to carry on after us, not to provoke Ugandans into a conflict, into civil disobedience. And I see all the ingredients are what we are putting up. You think when a few wannabes come around and start praising you means that Uganda is convinced? Having to spend millions of dollars just to celebrate something fictitious, just because you're launching a political project. Because heads of state spend millions of dollars because they're coming to attend a certain party and things of the sort. No, I'm telling them that is not important at all. The most important thing is how are we going to manage the aftermath of events? When Moses retired from the system, how are we going to overcome this? how are we going to stabilize the country? Because things are not what they appear to be. Everything still lies in silence, and so people are not sure. They really don't know exactly what is happening. And nobody knows how they're going to react thereafter. So it seems like everything is normal, but nothing is normal at all. I want to assure you, really, nothing is normal at all. The storms are coming from all directions. And whoever is willing to understand this will get it correct. Whoever is not willing to understand, let us wait for the backfire effect. The afterburn backfire effect. That is all we are looking at. So that is me. So normally, I tend to listen to what Tamale normally states. Do you ever sit down and reflect yourself on all of these activities that have been happening for all this time? You know, Tamale is a rare species. I never want to fight him. Because I know he knows a lot. But looking at the problems we have really incurred, I've been humiliated. And he's getting this kind of sponsorship from the big man himself, from my brother-in-law, for all those people who say the president should be succeeded by his son. I mean, succeeded with his son. Such things really happen. So when you talk about Tamale, I know Tamale has done a lot, and he has always been thinking that I'm fighting him to the extent of even being warned by the big man that I don't want you to engage in a battle with the Tamale Mirundi. I don't want you to engage in battles with so and so.